Welcome to Bleav In 76ers with your hosts, former 76ers point guard Eric Snow and two Sixers fanatics in Marcus and Teja Dash. Bleav In 76ers is presented by BetOnline.AG.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. We've got a great new sponsor here at Bleav In 76ers podcast. And I got to say, I love betting with my friends on pretty much anything, sports, games, you name it. And that's what the Kutt App allows us to do. The Kutt App is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's legal in 40 plus states. Kutt has customizable odds, tracking capabilities, and an entire social network with group chats, user profiles, and rewards. And the best part is, all payments are on the app as well. No need for Venmo. So, to get started today, use our promo code BLEAV76ers. You can find that right there for a 10% welcome deposit bonus. And that promo code is BLEAV76ers, BLEAV 76ers. The Kutt App. Put your money where your mouth is. I look forward to seeing you on the app. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bleav In 76ers podcast. I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary 76ers point guard Eric Snow and my brother Teja Dash. Guys, pretty big week in basketball overall. You get the Final Four come up this weekend. Last night you had Caitlin Clark, and they had that huge game against LSU, and then the Duke and USC game, which was great for women's basketball last night. Watching that game and seeing all the sports shows lead with girls college basketball today. Everyone was talking about that today. I thought that was pretty wild stuff. But I mean, yeah, I was glued to that game last night, the Caitlin Clark and Iowa game. Eric, what do you make of the kind of the recent popularity in women's college basketball?
Well, it's good. It's good and exciting for them. I've always been a fan. I've been watching since I was able to watch Cheryl Miller play when I was younger. So I've always followed and watched women's basketball. So I'm glad that they're getting their due as far as getting more attention and more eyes on them, because they've shown that throughout the years there's been some very talented ladies and very talented teams that's been helping push their basketball product forward. So it's good. I mean, obviously the way Caitlin's playing, she's bringing a lot more eyes to the game. But some of them other teams, I mean, you got Dom, what she's doing and her teams are doing, and obviously Gino, what he's done for years at UConn. So it's good to see what they're doing. But I think, in my opinion, I think one thing that really has helped outside of the players just being fantastic is the parity in the game. It's not one team dominating the whole year. Even though South Carolina's undefeated, we all seen what happened last year. We all seen that they won a game this year on the buzzer beater. So you still have that feel that anyone can win. And I think that's what has made the men's side tournament so fantastic, is that, the Cinderella team, the big upset, the big play. But it's there. I mean, I enjoy it. I always have. I just don't like when they keep comparing everything that they do to the men's side. Like, when the men had their success, it wasn't, well, the men had their success, and look with the women not having their success. So just stop with the comparisons and just enjoy what's going on. Yeah. If that's what you like.
Do you, this is a question on the men's side, Eric. Obviously the NC State guy was CJ Burns. There's potential that he might go the NFL. What do you think about that as being an offensive tackle prospect?
I mean, if he's played before, when he was younger, I mean, people have made that move before, but usually the guys that made that move had played some form of football when they were younger. I'm sure he wants to make it in basketball. He's a really good player. So I'm sure he wants to try that avenue out first. So I would like to see him do what he desires to do. as far as football, I mean, football is not a sport you can just casually go into. I can say that. So hopefully he gets to accomplish his dreams, and I'm sure his dream is play basketball and play professional basketball. So hopefully he's able to accomplish it that way.
Do you think just being a coach and playing football and at a high level you did in high school and stuff, and seeing everything, do you think he's got a higher chance of making it professionally in the NBA or the NFL? Do you think he has a higher shot at making the NFL over the NBA? What do you make of just kind of your assessment?
Well, I would say if he went through the college process with his height and his size, it would have been an easier path to go to the NFL, probably, because it's more positions and more people. I don't know if it is right now. I think right now, it's him making it to the NBA is probably a better path, or more, more possible than the NFL, because just, it's a lot of guys that are trying to make it to the NFL that are really, really good, man. So to just
who are 4-year starters at major universities.
That's what I'm saying. So to jump in front of them guys like that, like it's not as easy as people think. Yeah, of course, NFL teams will take a look because they look at him and they see what he's able to do on the basketball court. They like, okay, we can get him in football. One, he hasn't worn his body out. Then we can train him to do what we want to do. But it's different, man. It's totally different.
Yeah, I read that apparently he was a beast at football up until middle school, but then once he got to high school, they said like he was done playing football. He just stuck to basketball. I can only imagine how good he was at football in middle school. Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah,
you got to have a passion for it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And they're saying their offensive tackle prospect, I feel like he'd be a solid D tackle. I mean, I feel like that would be more something you could. Offensive tackle, there's a lot more to that position playing that. Whereas D tackle, yeah, it's not an easy position by any means, but I think that would be more of an easier transition into playing at the offensive tackle. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, my thing is the word football and the word easy don't seem to come in the same language to me.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah. Plus, if he's just like enormous and has amazing footwork, then they think they can just teach him the nuances of tackle and just get in front of somebody. Whereas like D tackle, you got to have a little more of that beast mode in you to attack someone in front of you. Whereas if you're O tackle, you're kind of stopping. You obviously have to have the beast mode in you too there.
I mean, the offensive tackle is a really, really important position too. I mean, you're protecting the most important guy, the biggest investment on the field.
Yep.
Even though no one's really trying to hit you, that's the one thing about being an offensive tackle. They aren't trying to get you; they're trying to get around you or through you. But yeah, I'm good on that. Hopefully, he can make it in basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think so? The Final Four this upcoming weekend. Who do you think is going to be the two teams that come out and go to the championship game, Eric?
I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I hadn't really researched and looked at the numbers and looked at the matchups yet. My bracket, I picked Purdue. I just felt kind of with their path. Then playing in Indianapolis, then playing in Detroit, that they would have a little good path. And I think, they're playing NC State, so they're supposed to win. But even though I was reminded by my son that the last 4 or 5 years, Purdue has lost to a double figure seed team.
Good point.
And that's who they're playing this weekend first. The way UConn is playing, excellent. Another thing with him, my son sent me something else about UConn. And during this run in the last 2 years, they've never played a number 1 or a number 2 seed.
Oh wow!
Even though they've blown everybody out, they haven't played a 1 or 2 seed, which I found was really interesting. That you've gone this far, going to 2 Final Fours 2 straight years, and you haven't played a 1 or 2.
Wow.
I mean, obviously this year, you're 1, you would at least have played a 2, but you make it. So And they will only play a 1 or 2 if them and Purdue win.
Yeah.
Although Illinois, I mean, there were 3 and they're good, really, really good. I did not expect.
But they were 3 seed. Illinois were a 3. Yeah. Illinois was a 3 seed.
Yeah.
So it was other 3 seeds that they played too. I think Gonzaga was a 3 seed last year. But yeah, they haven't played a 1 or 2. So that was just an interesting tidbit. I think Alabama's playing really well right now. I think they're playing as well as the expectations were at the beginning of the season. But if I had to right now, without doing research, I'll say it come down to a Purdue and UConn championship. And if Edey's above average, Purdue will win.
Wow.
Or maybe I'm just pulling for a Big Ten team since the Big Ten has won since 2000. And I'm constantly reminded.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's chalky, man, but just UConn's just too good. It's just one of those years that we're looking to go with another team when it's just right there in front of you. It's there. And like Illinois was the team that they didn't want to play. Well, man, they blew the doors off that.
I mean, you talking about a 30-0 run. I mean, it's a close game. They won a 30-0 run, man. Come on, man.
It was close at halftime too.
Yeah, I mean, is that just how good the team is, or is that just one of those days? Like 30-0 run?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
A combination of both, maybe. Yeah.
Rough. Yeah, you can still get UConn to win the whole thing minus 195 right now on certain betting websites.
It's pretty good.
No, it's not. That's great. That's great value. But I will hope everyone does well at the end of the March Madness bracket season here. I'm done. Illinois was it for me, so I'm out. But so now we got brackets are over. Now it's time to focus and hone in on our Sixers, guys. So obviously this past weekend we did manage to take out the Raptors without Maxey, but the big news is centered around our center, Joel Embiid's return. So Woj yesterday said that Embiid's looking good. He's going to be coming back this week. And a lot of people thought he was going to come back tonight against OKC. It doesn't seem like that. He wasn't at shoot around this morning, but they had till 5 o'clock to designate him playing tonight or not. But he's as of right now, he's ruled out, but 5 o'clock by 5, it can change. So obviously with Embiid coming back at some point this week, what kind of expectations and limitations do you guys have for him on the court when he comes back? And how long do you think it's going to take for him to be 100% Joel again, if we're going to see that at all?
I don't expect to see the Joel pre-injury anytime soon. I do expect if he's on the court to see someone that can be effective. Even in limited minutes, I do think that he'll get a good amount of minutes, but I do think it'll be choppy. So I don't think he'll play the long quarters. I think he'll get 6 minutes here and go out in 6 minutes. But if he's out there, he can be effective. I mean, his size, and people are still going to have to put 2 people on him and pay attention to him. So he can be effective. So I don't think that he would go out there, and I don't think that he would be cleared if he couldn't go out there and be effective in some way. So I think he's experienced it either in practice or workouts. He's experienced some level of comfort and confidence to go out there and play. So if he's playing, in my opinion, he's capable of being very effective.
I would almost go back to when Joel first started playing basketball actively, actually playing for the Sixers back in 16, 17. He played 25 minutes a game that season, scored 20 points. Combination between that and the following year where he was at the 30 minutes a game. I definitely think they will and should have a minute restriction on him. No back-to-backs, which we do have back-to-backs for the rest of the season. We do have one more, I think. I think they can do this and just be clever when he plays. I remember that year they used to play him. They used to start him out. He used to play like 3 minutes. They took him out, and then he'd come back with like 3 minutes like left in the first quarter. So he'd play against the other team starters, and he'd play against the other team's second unit. He would go out there and demolish the other team's second unit. So he's also one of the most efficient players in the NBA. So if anyone can go out there and do a lot of damage in 25 to 30 minutes a game, it's him. But yeah, it's going to have to be just really touch and go. They're going to have to see how his knee reacts to 25 minutes a game, maybe go up a little bit after he's okay, maybe 27, 28 minutes a game. I don't know when he starts playing 30 plus. It's not like they rushed him back, so they have given him plenty of time. I think he's on the late end. I think today is the 8-week mark, actually on the dot. So he's on the late end of that range. So it's not like they rushed him back and they're just trying to get him out there. I think they played it pretty well, played pretty safe because this is a long game. This isn't just for this season, right? This is beyond.
Yeah.
I don't know when he'll be 100% Joel, but or if he'll be that this season at all. But I know, so two things, most important to me with him. Joel has become, over his career, very accustomed to being in and out of the lineup due to rest and or injuries, right? So he's been really good at reacclimating himself quickly to team ball. He's really good about it. So it's not one of those guys you take out for a long period of time and come back in and they're like, they don't know where they are on the court. He's done that throughout his whole career with his injuries. Two, and it's a good and bad thing, Joel only knows one speed, and that's like 100% balls to the wall. So he's not going to come out and play scared or tentative. Even if you pay him for 20, 25 minutes, he's going to come out and act like he can only play 20, 25 minutes. So he'll be diving for balls in a quarter. He'll be chased down blocks that send him into the crowd. Which is good because, I mean, that's what makes him so special to do it at a guy that size. But it's also scary because it's like, whoa, slow down. Don't do that, please. But, that's him. That's why we love him.
So 7 games left on the season. I don't know if he's going to play tonight. I probably doubt it, just based on the fact that they've already ruled him out. I know they can change it, and a lot of Sixer fans are really hoping they're going to change it by 5 o'clock tonight. You see the Twitter, everyone's just, oh yeah, they're going to change it. Embiid's just doing an April Fool's joke and everybody, but I don't think he's going to play tonight. So that means we'd have 7 games left. Eric, you think 6 games left? You think 6 games is enough to kind of get him kind of reacclimated? Obviously, he's still not going to be 100% from the injury, but like, you think 6 games is good enough to kind of get off the rust a little bit?
Yeah, I think you would want as many as you can get, but I do think that 6 is enough. Because my only concern with these 6 left is that one of them is 3. The first 3 are 3 and 4 nights, so he's obviously not going to play the back-to-back. So it looks like more 5 than 6.
Yeah.
But I do think that him being able to play games, have rest days in between, and then have, as right now we'll be in the play-in, so you'll have games. So besides this one, I guess the back-to-back this weekend, he will no longer have to worry about back-to-backs, and he'll have a little break in between games and in between the regular season and the postseason. He'll have some consecutive days off. So it's enough for him to kind of get a rhythm going into the playoffs. But at the end of the day, some of that rhythm was kind of being accomplished by revving up your warm-ups and your workouts and your intensity before you stepped on the court. Yeah. So some of that had to already have been done. And then when you get on the court, you're getting your conditioning and minutes up. So if you come and you feel better than you thought, then you work on being able to increase your minutes. And the way you do that is by playing these 5 or so games. And then building it up. And so when you can step into the playoffs and /play in, you're better equipped to maximize your play in the amount of minutes that he's able to get.
And another aspect too is, besides just him getting reacclimated to playing full-time basketball, is it's a different team than when he left. So there's also that aspect too, right? You got to get used to having Lowry and Buddy on the court with him for 25 to 32 minutes a game, where he didn't have that before.
Yeah.
Right. So it's pretty crazy how that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then getting used to him. Right. So it's like it's both ways. It's him getting used to him. Yeah. And they have to, I mean, I'm sure Buddy can't wait. I mean, neither one of them probably can't wait, but Buddy's game's about to open up a lot when he gets on the court. Even just standing there, his game will open up a lot.
Yeah. And with the coaching staff finding the right lineups with Embiid as well.
Yep.
So
right combinations.
It's a learning thing for everybody involved. All right, so we mentioned playing game. Eric, you mentioned the playing game. So currently we're an 8th seed, 1.5 games behind Miami and 2.5 games behind the Pacers. Obviously, Joel returning in the next game or two, 7 games remaining. So we probably say about 5 games there. So hopefully the other 2 games we can win without Embiid. Do you think there's a chance, and how big of a chance do you think that is, that we can avoid the play-in game with Embiid's return?
You said 2.5 from the Pacers?
Yeah, 2.5.
2.5 from the Pacers? It's possible. I would put it at below 50%, though.
Yeah.
That we jump 2 seeds in 5.5 games, 6 games. Because we also have to consider the fact that, like I said, we got those back-to-back games. One of the games is Miami. We would have to beat them on the road.
Yeah.
And you also have to consider the fact that it's probably not necessary to play Joel in the last game of the year, or maybe the last 2 games of the year.
Yeah.
So
unless this is on the line, yeah.
I mean, my thing is, what I'm basically saying is, I think we may have to win out and they lose some games, and we, obviously beat Miami, so that's a loss and plus for us. Loss for them and plus for us. So things have to go our way. The way the Pacers have been playing recently, I think it's hard to jump 2 teams with 6 games left. I really do. Now, if we had the same record, that would be different. But if they're 2.5, and I don't even know, like, if in 1.5 with Miami, like, who has tiebreakers? Because you got to think about that. Because if someone has tiebreakers, that's really like an extra game.
Indiana has it over us, and if we beat Miami, we'd have it over them, I believe.
It would be 2-2, wouldn't it?
So that's
it's 2-2 Miami. Oh,
yeah. Because I think we need to win this game in order to get the. Hold on, let me look.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if we lose to Miami, it's really, instead of 1.5, be even more games to Indiana and the Pacers, because you got to add that 1 game from the tiebreaker.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that being said, it goes a little probably to 30 to 40% now.
Under 40%.
Yeah, just because I don't think Joel's gonna play all those games. Like, we're saying how effective can he be to help us. I don't see it. I don't see him playing, and then we're gonna play him 30, 40 minutes the last 2 games of the year at home on a Friday and a Sunday. Then we turn around and play again that Tuesday.
Yeah.
Or Wednesday, whenever they have us play.
If it comes down to, like, the last game of the season, and let's say we win, we get the 7, so we get the home court for that 1 Miami game, or if we lose, then we go to Miami. Basically, would you rather travel for the play-in game but have a fresh Joel, or play him on that last game, be at home, but he might be a little dinged up and tired.
I mean, if I believe if we're playing the last couple games and it's to avoid the play-in game, I mean, he's going to play because that essentially is a play-in game.
Yes.
If that's the case, if you're playing for the 6th seed, I mean, essentially that's what it is. You're playing to avoid it, or you're deciding not to play guys and play in it.
But what about home court for the play-in game?
We have, yeah, home court for the play-in game. You will have if you're in the top 8. You just may not have it in the first game.
Yes.
So
yes.
But that's where tiebreakers come in. So you may have it. You may not have the first game. You have it the second game. Yeah. So right now we will have. If we don't, we will either be in the playoffs or we'll have a home game in the playoffs. Play in if we don't win that first game. So I think you have to, if he's capable and ready to play, you have to make sure that he's ready and capable to play in whatever form of playoffs that we have. So getting him to the best point that you can get him in that, for that week, because that's when it's the season. It's no longer, we don't have to worry about when he's coming back if we don't win.
Yeah. So 7 games left. Thunder, Heat, Grizzlies, Spurs, Detroit, Magic, Nets. Yeah, I mean, going 7-0 would be amazing. That still doesn't even guarantee us 7-0. Is still, it's a hard, tough spot to get into that 6. Let's say loss, Thunder. Say Heat win, Grizzlies win, Spurs win, Magic win, Magic, Nets. Let's say we roll off 6 game win streak to go into the playoffs, 6-1 over the last 7. That gives us a 46-36 record. Miami's got the Knicks, Sixers, Rockets, Pacers, Hawks, Mavs, and then the Raptors twice to end the season. That's really nice. Wish we had that. I gave them 5-3 the rest of the way. I say they beat the Knicks, they lose to the Sixers, they beat the Rockets, they lose to the Pacers, they beat the Hawks, they lose to the Mavs, and then they beat the Raptors twice. So it's 5-3. That would put us at a tie with Miami going into that play-in. I don't know what. Again, does it go by conference record? Because we're not in the same division as them. Conference.
I think the second tiebreaker is head-to-head. I believe it may be division or conference. Yeah.
Yeah, conference, they have a better record. We don't have a very good conference record. And then we have them losing to the Mavs. That's not even a conference. Pacers and us. So they would put them at 30 and something and 20 losses. We'd have 21. So they'd still get it in that case. And then Pacers, even harder, really. They have the Nets win, Thunder loss, Heat win. I'll say Raptors win, Cavs loss, Hawks win. That would put them at 47-35. And they have tiebreakers.
That is the issue with the end of the season, is that we don't know how every other team's end of the season looks. So if a team is locked into a spot, they could shut it down. Well, we're saying they could beat them, but they could be shutting it down. Kind of depends on when they play those teams. Like we playing the Thunder now. Typically, the Thunder is in, but they're still fighting for to win the division and the number 1 seed. I mean, the top 3 teams in the West are all in the same division. So you could have one of the top teams in the West and be in 3rd place, and you got and you in 3rd place in your division.
Yep. Yeah. Looks like we're in the playing game. Yeah, it goes to show you, though, all those games that people say, it's whatever, rest him, take this game off. It's a meaningless game. It's November. They're not meaningless.
Yeah.
They're not. They're important. It's an 82-game season. It's long as hell. But, now they all seem like NFL season games, even the ones looking back on from November or whatever, right? In December. So those games that didn't seem like a big deal then, they're massive deals now because one or two of those went the other way. And we can even look back really recently to that Clippers game where we got hosed at the end of the game. You give us one more victory right now, we're 1.5 game behind the Pacers, and we're a half game behind the Heat, right? So,
yeah, I remember there's a few times during the year where Eric was like, "This game's going to come back to be important at the end of the season, so we better win this game now."
Or we could just go back and take, or we could just go back and take a game when we just should have won it in the end without being hosed.
But that one's so recent, though. It's so easy just to pull that one,
Well, what did you think at the end of the Clippers game, Aaron?
The refs went back into the 5 minutes later and said, we missed that.
Was the Memphis game recent enough?
Yeah, we blew that one too.
In the last few weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of that ending of the Clippers game, Eric?
That was
I don't think we talked about that one.
He got fouled.
Yeah.
It was. I thought it was a foul when it happened. Paul kind of. I mean, he kind of did what he was supposed to do and kept his hands straight up. He was just moving to the side, moving left. Like you got to stay parallel, straight up and down. And it was a foul. So they missed the call.
Yeah, they said it 2 minutes later too.
But we also Batum kind of tapped the ball instead of grabbing it. That also started the clock earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a tap back, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of to push the time. But that type of stuff happens, man. You miss call in the end, you give yourself, you had a chance to win, miss call. That happens. I don't necessarily look at that game and be like, that's the one that's going to hurt us. It's some other games that I could pull before I would pull that one.
Yeah.
I mean, we blew games. We blew the Grizzlies game. At the Nets, we lost by 5. I mean, the Cavaliers game we were looking good against.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 3 right there. You take 2 out of those 3, and we're right on the Pacers' ass. And we're, all we need to do is just do our job, and we're in, So sucks. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, tonight we can hopefully make up some ground here with this game against the Thunder. So going to our final topic, our game picks. So tonight it opened up as the Sixers being a 5.5-point underdog. And right now, as it stands, Sixers are a 2.5-point underdog. So it's gone 3 points the opposite way. I thought initially that could be, that means Embiid's going to play tonight. But then I looked, and it looks like Josh Williams is out, and so is SGA. Is what I've read online. That's probably going to happen. But those guys will be out tonight. So it kind of bodes well for us, at least. And Maxi's probably going to play. He was at shoot around this morning. So Sixers 2.5-point underdog at home against the West leading Thunder. Who do you guys have on this one?
I believe we'll win. Even if those guys play. I think that sense of urgency is there. I'm saying the sense of urgency is there. I'm saying that we'll win it, and that will give us we'll cover because we're not supposed to win. But I'm gonna go against Vegas and say we win the game. We're trying to catch Miami and pass them to have possibly 1 or 2 home games in the play-in.
Yeah,
because we remember what Miami did last year when they had the 2 home games in the playoffs. In the play-in, I'm sorry.
Yep. It's tough. I know Williams is definitely out. SGA might be out. I'm gonna say we win very, very narrow. I think it'll come down to the final possessions either way. But yeah, the spreads have been very weird. Almost like they don't know what to do with it at this point. 5.5 to 2.5 is a big jump. For no one really being in or out, which is like weird. officially at least.
Well, Maxey going to shoot around this morning was because last night he was iffy to play.
Yeah, shoot around 3-point jump. I mean, that's just now if he's actually officially active, they might lower it a half point and be like, oh, Max only did half point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game down to the wire. I don't think we get blown out, and at this point, man, we shouldn't be. Our season, like you said, if we have urgency, then let's see it. But yeah, we need it, and everyone is a Knicks fan tonight too against the Heat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Eric, do guys, I know with Embiid, like his return is going to be happening in the next few days here, if it's not tonight. Do guys kind of get like a kind of a jolt of energy? Like, does a team get excited, kind of a boost in the locker room, even if he's not going to play, but knowing reinforcements are coming? Like, does that give a jolt to the team?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, guys get excited. You could tell the energy level changes to have your full team, the best player on the court. If you don't get excited, I don't know why not. Because you feeling good about where you are and who you are as a team, and having your whole collective group. It got to feel good to have that and give yourself a better chance to win games, which is what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we pull this one out, and hopefully it's a nice little beginning to a great week with Embiid coming back, and hopefully we can rally off some wins here as we close out the season. All right, well, that does it for us. We hope everybody enjoyed the episode. We'll see you guys next time as we discuss Joel Embiid's return to the hardwood. So, all right, guys.
All right,
Take it easy, fellas.
Later.